Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone. Here we go again, the land where logic goes to die and then gets resurrected by common sense. Today's lineup, a full course meal of woke arguments getting flipped faster than a vegan burger at a Texas barbecue. From TV studios, to street debates, to Congress itself, watch as every self-proclaimed moral genius gets hit with their own rulebook and loses the game they started. First up, we've got a self-proclaimed feminist philosopher announcing that men shouldn't have opinions on abortion because it doesn't affect them.
Really? I think because you're a man, you shouldn't have any words.
Saying because I'm a man, I'm not affected by abortion, I shouldn't have an opinion on it?
Pretty much.
Are you affected in any way by the Holocaust?
Not personally, I'm not Jewish.
Do you think the Holocaust is bad?
I do.
So you have an opinion on something that doesn't directly affect you, right?
Yeah, but...
Then the guy hits her with the question of the century, asks if she's personally affected by the Holocaust. She says no, but still thinks it's bad. Suddenly her logic short circuits like a cheap Wi-Fi router. Watching her freeze mid-sentence is the definition of poetic justice. Next, we've got a proud logic warrior who's all for identifying as anything until that same logic comes knocking.
Can you identify as a black person?
No,
Why?
because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal, you know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
The interviewer asks if he can identify as black, and suddenly belief isn't enough, it's genetics. Funny how science only matters when it saves the argument. The moment he flips her words back, she taps out faster than her reasoning could load. This time, a group of self-proclaimed empowered thinkers walks right into their own trap.
Who controls access to men or women?
Women.
Yeah, woman. Woman, obviously.
Yeah, so I would say hookup culture, if we want to see hookup culture stop, because women kind of control when happens, so do you have anyone to blame but yourselves on that one? You know? Thoughts? Okay, yeah, crickets, here we go. Okay, so
The host simply asks who controls access to sex, and every single one proudly says women. Then he points out that if hookup culture is a problem, maybe they should look in the mirror. Suddenly, the queens of debate forget how to speak. Crickets louder than their feminism. This part is brutal.
Like, there's toxic masculinity, and I feel like that's usually when I look at a person, I'm like, okay, that, like, the masculinity is showing, you know? That's why I'm like, in moderation.
wait, so you're saying when masculinity is apparent or showing, that equals toxic masculinity?
No, it's just sometimes it's like a little excessive, and that's usually when I like notice it.
What is excessive masculinity?
You know, like, oh, I need this like big old car. It's like, okay, you're compensating for something.
Compensating for what?
A lot of things, I can tell you that much.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. List it.
I mean, probably like their low self-esteem, and maybe their tiny dicks. Can I say that?
Sure.
Okay.
Tiny dicks. So do women who want nice cars, do they have loose pussies?
No, they got taste. There's
Oh, so it's only bad if men have a desire for material goods?
no. These are all just like really misogynistic. I don't necessarily need a man to tell me. I also have females who can support me. I feel like women and men can both provide that.
Wait,
So I don't
what
know.
is misogynistic about his statement here?
Well, I don't know why it has to be a man.
How do you define misogyny?
I don't know. I don't like this.
What? I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
Can I go?
Are you okay? Like, do you want to go as in leave? Is it because I asked how you define misogyny?
She starts tossing around words like toxic masculinity and misogyny like she's reading straight from Twitter, and the host just calmly asks, what does that mean? You can actually see the panic set in. One second she's confident, the next she's ready to leave the table. Nothing ends a woke argument faster than basic definitions. Up next, a woke interviewer asks what a man would do if his son came home claiming to be a girl, and let's just say his answer wasn't out of the liberal handbook.
If your son came home one day and said he was a girl, what would you say?
You are going to the Middle East, bro. You are going to the Middle East. And then let's see how much of a woman you are over there.
Why the Middle East?
I think they'd get him straight. Maybe throw him off a roof or something like that. Only 2 stories, though, so he can survive.
He tells her he'd send the kid to the Middle East to straighten things out, and the interviewer's face says it all. She wanted a progressive answer and got a reality check instead. This one's a classic.
Do you support immigration?
Yeah.
Recently, the state of Massachusetts said that people should step up and open up their homes to house migrants. Would you sign this pledge today to open up your home to house a migrant?
No, never.
Why not?
Why should I? It's my home.
What do we do with the immigrants that are here that don't have housing?
I'm not sure. That's not my job.
The guy proudly says he supports immigration until he's asked to actually do something about it. Suddenly it's all, no, it's my home. Oh, so it's compassion until it gets inconvenient? That woke logic evaporated faster than her patience trying to make sense of it. And here we go again. Another woke politician trying to box someone into an identity label only to get smacked with pure common sense.
Can I ask you what you identify as?
Identify?
Ethnicity?
I identify as an American.
Not an African American?
Yeah, I had to work on my own merits and pretty much promote the principles I believe in, which is freedom, equality for all, which I believe that America does. And that's how I got elected into my position. I didn't get elected into my position because of the color of my skin or do any race baiting stuff that it seems like you're promoting here.
She asks what he identifies as, expecting some long-winded buzzword answer, and he just says, I identify as an American. Simple, solid, and absolutely devastating. You can almost hear the woke circuits frying in the background. And here comes the best clip. She starts off screaming about how the patriarchy ruins everything, then 5 seconds later says she actually likes men being the breadwinners because she wants to stay home and be a mom.
Why don't we like the patriarchy? Because the patriarchy. Why? Because it makes it so much harder to exist and just like have equal rights, and it just that. So do you think women have it like harder in society? Yes, definitely. Do you think men at all face any hardships at all, or is it really just like an attack on women in our society?
Well, I feel like they're really expected to be the breadwinners all the time.
Mm-hmm. Do you like that or not like that?
I personally like that because I wouldn't mind not working in the future. So
in the future, you want to be a mom?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, you want to be a wife?
Yes.
What does that look like for you if we don't like the patriarchy?
I'm gonna let you answer that one.
Oh, well, I was just going to say it's not about like hardships. It's just about like making it an even playing field.
Okay.
I mean, everyone can have a hard life, but women are like statistically targeted more.
The interviewer just connects the dots and boom, silence. That's the sound of feminism short-circuiting in real time. Now, a group of self-proclaimed feminists try running the same tired safety argument, and the host flips it right back on them like a logic boomerang.
If say you're a white person, and you're gonna say, I had a bad experience with a person of a different racial group, that's the same justification women use for wanting to have these certain protections in place. Why can't a white person say, I only want to ride with a white person?
Well, they should probably get a car.
Okay, women should probably get a car.
I'm just joking.
Then again, a white person can say, I don't feel safe around this racial group. So then what would be your objection if their basis for their racism is due to their safety concerns?
What exactly are the safety concerns?
Well, so you would agree that if a woman has had firsthand negative, bad experiences with a man, that would be their justification for a safety concern, right? So like, let's say a white person got beat up by a black person 3 years ago, they could then use this as justification for feeling unsafe around black people.
And more in terms of like size, and men are bigger, testosterone, men have more testosterone, they're stronger, their ability to build muscle, they can more. Like, race doesn't have anything to do with that, really.
But just because you're larger or physically stronger than somebody, that's not basis for prejudice against them, assuming they're going to be violent or a predator.
He points out that if women can generalize all men because of one bad experience, then by their own logic, someone could do the same racially. Suddenly the table goes quiet. Guess consistency isn't part of the curriculum. This one might be the shortest KO in the compilation.
So if someone comes to you, young as being like, listen, I was given this gender, but I do not feel like this gender. I really wish that I could live as another. Who are you to say you're incorrect?
A parent.
She's mid-rant about how no one should tell a child they're wrong about their gender, talking like it's deep philosophy, and the guy just says, a parent. That's it. One word, silence. You can practically hear her brain buffering, trying to find the progressive response to that. Here's pure secondhand embarrassment.
What do you have to say for the happy trans community?
You said that people need this stuff so they can live happier lives and potentially it'd be life-saving, you said even. Aside from your anecdotes of your friends who told you so, how do you know that?
Okay, so thinking back to when I was 16 in an anatomy class, when I learned that transgender people tend to have the brain structure that confirms their identity that they identify with. And you can look that up. That's a fact.
I will look that up.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I will look that up and I won't find it.
Yeah.
It's not a fact.
Oh,
it's not a fact.
Should we all pull out Google really quick and look?
So you're saying a trans man has the brain of a woman?
No. I'm saying that a trans man who identifies as a man will tend to have similar brain structure that a cis man would.
And where did you get that from?
Look it up. It's literally, I'm telling you, I learned it from my anatomy class when I was 16. And I looked up the fact before I walked up here because I knew that you'd ask.
Okay.
She walks up confident, ready to drop science on Matt Walsh, quoting something she half remembers from high school anatomy class. Then he just calmly asks, "Where did you get that from?" And you can feel her confidence dissolve instantly. The more she insists it's a fact, the less convincing it sounds. Classic self-own. Next, we've got a feminist hero trying to lecture a white man for holding a Feminists for Trump sign, and it backfires in record time.
Kind of ironic that a white man is wearing a woman for Trump and a feminist for Trump when I consider myself a feminist. And
did you just assume my gender? You said white man.
Okay, I see your point there.
How do you know I'm not a woman?
I see your point. I see your point.
You need to check your white privilege, your white female privilege, I think.
You think?
A little bit. I actually identify as a non-binary, gender-fluid dragonkin.
Are you trying to make up, are you just trying to be funny now? Or?
Like part dragon, like I can breathe fire, and sometimes I flap my wings and I whoosh into the sky.
The guy hits her with, "Did you just assume my gender?" And suddenly, she's the one checking her privilege. When he claims to identify as a gender-fluid dragonkin, her logic bursts into flames faster than his imaginary wings. This one's straight out of the Logic Hurts Feelings Hall of Fame.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that you assume that I have a penis. Right. Why? Because you seem. Is it because of a societal construct? Yes. That's why?
The guy tries to play the gender theory card, saying everything's a social construct, and Crowder just flips it on him in 2 sentences. Then why do you assume I have a penis? Instant silence. You can literally see the soul leave his body as his own argument collapses in real time. Up next, one's peak irony.
What are you?
I'm a cisgendered man.
What does that
mean? So that means if you were born a woman, and therefore you still identify as a woman, so you're a cisgendered woman, I would say.
And that's because of my physical femaleness.
You identify with how you were born
What am I?
originally. Well, I assume you're a cisgendered
I'm not
man,
a cis anything, mate.
if I may assume.
I'm not a cis anything. I'm just a man.
Well, no, but you're a cisgendered man.
No, I'm not a cisgendered anything.
But hang on.
What does cis mean?
Well, that means that you were born the way that you identify
No,
now.
I'm just born a man.
But someone who transitions.
Why are you insisting on calling me something I'm not?
Well, you can refer to yourself as just a man if you like, but...
I think most people identify as male or female, man or woman.
That's right. The vast majority of people. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other people who identify differently.
There are 100 different genders on this BBC list, apparently.
The guest proudly explains cisgender like he's teaching a college seminar, and Piers Morgan just keeps saying, "I'm not a cis anything, I'm just a man." You can see the guest glitching, trying to process how his own "don't label people" rule just got used against him. It's like watching woke logic eat itself on live TV. Here's a comedy gold.
To people like you guys, you can't grasp the idea.
Excuse me, I'm quite young.
All right, buddy.
I identify as 19.
See, this is the argument that people keep pulling. It's not about that.
Why
If
is that
people
not
want
a
to be
legitimate argument, though? Why can't I identify as a black person, but I can identify as a woman?
See, this is what I mean. Why is it harmful that people want to identify as another gender? How does that harm you?
How does it harm you that I want to identify as 19?
It doesn't harm me.
Okay, so then why don't you accept it?
I didn't say I didn't accept it.
Do you accept that I'm 19?
If you want to say that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me.
So will you take back your statement where you said that I was an old man?
What?
She tries the classic "you older people just don't get it" line, and the guy fires back, "I identify as 19. You can actually watch her soul leave her body as the logic boomerangs right back. When she admits it doesn't harm her, he seals it with, "So take back calling me old." Pure poetic justice. Now we got political theater at its finest.
Joe Manchin, the senator from West Virginia, is he a racist?
I can't comment on that.
Okay, what about Mark Kelly from Arizona?
Similarly, cannot comment on that.
Maggie Hessen,
Also
senator
cannot comment.
New Hampshire. Okay, can't comment on there being a racist or not. How about Catherine Cortez Masto from Nevada?
Likewise, Mr. Rowe.
Okay, can't comment on whether they're racist or not.
I don't have an opinion as to the matter.
Okay, because you called me a racist. And you called me a racist because I said that Title 42 should be enforced. Something, by the way, that this administration did to the tune of over 1 million people.
2.5 million people, actually.
Right. So this administration is racist?
I believe this administration has made a number of failures on the racial justice front.
So the Biden administration is racist?
I can't comment as the administration
Interesting.
in general.
Good to know. Good to know that the Biden administration is racist and get that on the record. The administration stood up. The senators I just listed said that Title 42 should have stayed in place. Now, my personal view is that Title 42 wasn't the thing that needed to stay in place, that what ought to be in place is an actual border security that secures the border.
Chip Roy calmly walks the witness right into his own trap. The guy had no problem calling Roy racist for supporting Title 42, but suddenly can't comment when it's Biden and Democrat senators doing the same thing. You can almost hear the logic short-circuiting as Roy just sits there, letting hypocrisy destroy itself. Up next, there is a masterclass in calm demolition.
There's the extreme approach that you are admittedly taking, and there is biological sex, and a lot of times people are conflating sex and gender.
She began by saying that my view is extreme. Okay, so the view that every single person on Earth has held up until 15 seconds ago is extreme, and the view that almost everyone does right now still hold is extreme, apparently. They are conflating gender and sex because on one hand they say, well, you got your biological sex, but then your gender is whatever social construct. But then they turn around and say that trans women are women. You are conflating and gender just by saying that. So that's the problem.
Part of me wants to ask why you care so much.
I care about the truth. So basic truth matters. I want to live in a society where people care about the truth and we're grounded in truth. Right. I care about children, and these insane ideas about gender are being foisted on kids, and that bothers me quite a bit. I care about the women who are having their opportunities stolen from them. I care quite a bit, yeah.
The woman calls Matt Walsh extreme, and he just smiles and points out that his view was literally the default belief of every human being until about 5 minutes ago. Then he flips her own conflating gender and sex line right back at her. She laughs, but you can tell that laugh's covering a total logic collapse. This one's just brutal.
Men are providers, so go do that job. Go learn a trade. Go do something.
Well, you said that that's all they're good for.
Yeah.
And what are you good for?
A lot of things.
Like?
I'm funny. I'm smart.
You haven't demonstrated that yet.
Okay, well, that's your opinion. I'm a musician. I dance.
You dance?
The list goes on and on.
What a great quality. You can dance. What do you bring to the table, though?
What do I bring to the table?
Yeah.
I'm smart.
Okay.
I'm funny. I'm attractive. I have talents.
I don't know if men are so useless that their only job is to be fighting for you. It sounds like you're just a typified eater. Like, I don't know what you're really bringing to the table. You're just kind of consuming resources, right?
I mean, if you want to hear the answer that I could be domesticated and I can cook and clean and do all that, I can.
No, that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is what value are you bringing to society?
By being me.
By being you. I'm enough.
I am enough.
Okay.
She starts strong, declaring that men are only good for providing, then instantly falls apart when asked what she brings to the table. I'm funny, I'm smart, I dance. Sure. Then when pressed for real value, she proudly says, I am enough. The guy's laugh says it all. Nothing owns woke entitlement faster than reality. Finally, we have got a total mic drop.
Women in this country still make 77 cents on the dollar for what men make. So if women don't make less than men?
Actually, if you start looking at the numbers, Rachel, there are lots of reasons for that.
Wait. No, wait.
Well,
Don't
first
tell me
of
the
all,
reasons why. Do women make less than men for doing
actually,
the same work?
no, because
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
Well, for example, men work an average of 44 hours a week. Women work 41 hours a week. Men go into professions like engineering, science, and math that earn more. Women want more
Listen,
flexible
this is not a
professions.
math is hard.
No. Yes, it is.
conversation.
Actually,
No, right now, women are making 77 cents on the dollar for what men are making. So
but that's not true. If so, every
let
greedy,
Rachel make her point.
Every greedy businessman in America would hire only women, save 25%, and be hugely profitable. And I love how passionate you are. I wish you were as right about what you're saying as you are passionate about it. I really.
She throws out the classic, women make 77 cents for every dollar men make line like it's gospel, and the guy just calmly tears it to shreds. He points out men work longer hours, take tougher jobs, and if that pay gap were real, every company would just hire women for cheap labor. The silence after that, priceless. And there it is, another glorious round of self-inflicted defeats. The pattern never changes. Big words, moral lectures, and then total meltdown when their own logic turns on them. Whether it's a college kid, a TV guest, or a so-called expert, they all crumble the same way. Common sense wins again. See you next time for more woke logic gone wrong. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me what topic you want to see next.